Hi and very welcome. I am Helen of HB Healthy, and inspired by a friend, I'm just going to share with you a few exercises to help with the hips, so help to loosen up the hips. This short sequence will be just to prepare the hips for a further sequence of exercises. So we'll just start by sitting in any comfortable position. So it can be cross-legged, you can have your legs out straight in front, or you can be kneeling, whatever feels best for you. And then gently bringing the hands on top of the knees or thighs and checking that your spine is nice and tall and spacious, that your hips, knees and ankles feel relaxed. And then once you're adjusted in a comfortable sitting position, just let your eyes begin to gaze down at the floor in front of you so they start to half close. And then you can either keep them like this, or you can just gently allow the eyes to close completely. And then just bringing the awareness in, so letting go of any busyness in the mind, any ideas of what you might think you need to do later, and just allowing your attention to settle into the present moment. And then taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, and let that breath go through the mouth, letting go of any tension with the exhale. And then allowing the breath to come and go in its own natural rhythm, and just bringing your awareness into the body, so starting to notice how you're feeling right now. And then just having a scan through the body, so bringing your awareness firstly to the feet, the legs, ankles, knees and hips, the back of the upper body and the front of the upper body. Bringing awareness to the hands and the arms, wrists, elbows and shoulders. Awareness in the spine, whole of the spine, head and face. And then bringing a smile to the lips. And if you wish to set a positive intention for this short yoga session, feel free to do so now. And then letting it go. And then gently blinking the eyes open. And we'll just stretch the legs out in front to begin. So if your legs don't come fully straight, you can keep the knees a little bit bent, that's fine. And then just letting the legs come more or less in line with the hips. You can rest the hands gently on top of the thighs or behind you on the floor, keeping the spine nice and tall. And then just let the toes curl a few times as you exhale. And as you inhale, gently uncurling the toes. So bringing just a bit of movement into the feet, awareness in the toes, and trying to synchronize the movement with your breath. And at the end of that last exhale, just relaxing the toes, and then as you exhale next, point the toes away and inhale to draw the whole of the foot back towards you, keeping the heel in contact with the floor, feeling that stretch through the top of the foot as you point the toes away, and through the sole of the foot as you draw the toes towards you. Again, synchronizing movement and breath, inhaling the feet towards you and exhaling them away towards the floor. So one more round like this, and then at the end of that exhale, just let your feet relax. Maybe pat the knees up and down gently a few times and shake the feet out from side to side. And just adjust your sitting position if you need to, checking that your spine still feels nice and tall. And then we're going to bend the left leg in. Let the left knee come gently out to the side, and we'll try to bring the left foot on top of the right thigh. If it doesn't reach, you can just keep it here on the floor. It doesn't matter where your knee is, whether it's up here or whether it's close to the floor. And then if your foot stays here, you can just place the left hand on left ankle and hold onto that foot with your right hand and make some circles. If it comes easily onto this thigh, then you can just do your circling here. So keeping the awareness in the left ankle as you gently circle round with that foot with the help of the right hand. So we'll just do a few rounds in each direction, checking that when you do this, that you're not holding any tension elsewhere in your body. So the spine is nice and tall, the shoulders are relaxed, neck and facial muscles are nice and relaxed. And then just let that foot become still. Moving the left hand now just to the left knee. You can keep the right hand resting on top of the left ankle, and then as you inhale, with the help of this hand, gently ease the knee up. And then as you exhale, very gently easing it down. It's like we're encouraging it towards the floor, but it doesn't happen with force. It's just an encouraging, gentle easing with that hand. So exhaling it down and inhaling it up just as far as it comfortably comes. So we're just bringing a bit of movement into that hip joint. Still we're keeping the spine nice and tall, the shoulders, neck and face are relaxed. Close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And then just once more like that. So we'll just inhale up and exhale down. And at the end of that exhale, just let the leg relax. And then we're going to start to make a circling motion with the hip joint. So we take hold of this foot with the right hand, and then this hand can either be resting on the knee or just let it be free, whichever feels best for you. And then we're basically going to circle this foot round so that we're working into the hip joint. So it's a bit like you're stirring something with your foot, but what you're actually stirring is your hip joint. So again, just keeping your breath nice and relaxed, checking that the spine stays nice and tall, shoulders and face are relaxed, and then changing direction. So a few rounds in each direction, and then we slowly bring it back to the center. So from here, we're just going to let the hip rock out to the side and back in. So the way we want to do this is to cradle the lower leg wherever we comfortably can. So it might be down here, that's absolutely fine. If it comes up a bit further, we may be able to bring it into the crooks of the elbows, or we can just hold it in the hands like this. And then as we inhale, we're just going to open out to the side and exhaling, drawing it in. So wherever you hold it, still checking that you keep the spine nice and tall, so we don't want to compromise the posture of the upper body in order to hold this leg closer. So breathing in and out, and then once more like that, in and out. So we're doing about 3 to 5 rounds on each side. So then we just rest that foot down and slide the leg back out, and then again just let your legs rest here for a moment, observing any change between left leg and right leg. And again, maybe you want to pat the knees gently up and down, shake the feet from side to side a little bit. And then we're going to repeat everything on the other side. So bending the right leg. Firstly, we let the knee fall out to the side wherever it comfortably comes. So you might find that one side is more flexible than the other side. And then we want to start circling this ankle. So we can either do it from here, or we can rest the ankle on top of that thigh and bring the opposite hand, same side hand onto the ankle to support, and then with the opposite hand we start to circle the foot around, bringing movement into the ankle joint. There may be sound effects, clicking and crunching, that's quite common. And then we change direction, still checking that the shoulders and face stay relaxed. We're not holding any tensions elsewhere in the body throughout this practice. And then just letting that foot become still. We're going to release this hand onto the knee, and then helping this knee up and down just to bring a bit of movement into the hip joint. So as we inhale, encouraging that knee up, and then as we exhale, just encouraging it down towards the floor as far as we comfortably can, inhaling up and exhaling down. close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Just bring that awareness into the hip, observing how does that feel in the hip joint. Letting this be the last round, and then we're going to hold this foot up with the opposite hand and start to circle the foot around. So again, we're stirring up the hip joint now. So allowing that circle to be as big as it comfortably can without force, without compromising the posture of the upper body, keeping the spine nice and tall and changing direction. And breath is relaxed and easy. Just coming and going with ease. And then letting it come back to the center. And then we're going to cradle this leg like it's our baby, holding it either up here or maybe down here. Wherever it is absolutely fine, as long as you feel comfortable. The spine is nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed. And then as we inhale, draw that leg out to the side, the upper body will follow. And then exhaling, letting it come back in. So we're opening and closing that hip, inhaling out to the side and exhaling back in. And just continuing with your own breath. And one more like that, inhaling out and exhaling in. And then relax that foot back down to the floor, sliding the leg out. And again, just taking a moment there to observe how your hips are feeling. Once again, pat the knees up and down and shake the feet from side to side. So we'll just cross our legs now at the shins. Again, it doesn't matter where your knees come to. They might be up here, that's absolutely fine. But just allowing the shins to cross, and with our feet, we're going to walk them out to the side, so they're going away from each other. So it's like the knees are getting closer and the feet are getting further from each other. And then we want to keep our feet nice and active, so it's a bit like they're doing this. So we're drawing the toes back towards us, so there's a bit of a stretch through the sole of the feet. We're going to just make little fists with our hands and place them here. With the help of the hands, lift your buttocks up and move back a fraction and sit back down. And you should see that you've made a little triangle here between your thighs. So from here, we're just going to bring our fingers onto the floor and inhale the spine up nice and tall. As we exhale, feel the shoulders relax down away from the ears and feel like we're grounding down through the sit bones, so through the middle of the buttocks. And then as we inhale, we just let our fingers come up towards the ceiling. Again, nice tall spine. And then on the exhale, we're just going to hinge forwards from the hips to wherever we comfortably reach, and then lower the hands down so the fingers come onto the floor. We're still keeping the spine nice and tall and just observing that sensation of stretch into the hip joints here, keeping the feet nice and active. And you might find that each time you inhale, you ease off a little bit, your spine becomes a bit taller, and each time you exhale, you might ease in slightly more. So maybe palms of the hands come to the floor. You might find that your hands start to creep slightly further forwards. And then you can stay in this position for several breaths if you wish. We'll just do 3 long breaths here. So really keeping the attention in the hips. You're free to come out if you need to before you've completed the 3 long breaths. Closing the eyes if that's helpful. Keeping your awareness in the hip joints. Keeping the feet nice and active, stretching into the soles of the feet. At the end of that 3rd exhale, as you inhale, very gently creep your fingers back in and then sit upright. Let the fingers come up towards the sky, and then exhaling the hands down beside us. Just leaning back now with the hands supporting us, we can just gently uncross the legs, straighten them out for a moment and just shake the knees up and down. And then we're going to cross the legs the opposite way. So whichever way feels weird for you. And again, we will shuffle the feet out to the sides and the knees are coming closer to one another. Just let our fingers rest on the floor beside us and inhale the spine up nice and tall. Press with the fists into the floor and gently lift and move back a fraction and sit back down. And then again, looking to check we've made that triangle between the thighs. And then on the next inhale, raise the arms up, fingers come towards the sky, nice tall spine. And as you exhale, hinging forwards from the hips and bringing the hands down to wherever they reach, keeping the feet nice and active. And again, just observing how that feels for the hips. Keeping the fingers on the floor, maybe the palms come into contact with the floor. You might find that you ease forwards a tiny bit more. And then once you reach your comfortable maximum, just bringing the eyes gently closed, keeping the awareness in the hips and taking 3 long breaths here. Let the inhale be nice and deep and the exhale long and slow as you relax the hips on the exhalation. And at the end of the 3rd exhale, inhale, creep the fingers back in slightly and draw the hands up towards the sky. And then exhaling down beside you. And then just leaning back again and releasing the legs. And this time we'll bring them out a little bit wider and just give the knees a pat up and down. Shake the feet from side to side. And then we'll just gently bend the knees so the soles of the feet come towards one another and the knees are out to the side. Again, the knees may be here, wherever they are, that is absolutely fine. And the hands can come either onto the shins, ankles, or if it's available to you, holding onto the feet. And then we're just going to do a little bit of a butterfly from here. So we let the knees gently bounce up and down, keeping the spine nice and tall and just observing the sensation in the hips, the inner upper thighs. Keeping the shoulders, neck and facial muscles relaxed. And then just exhaling to relax the knees, let them sink to wherever they comfortably reach. Inhale, the spine nice and tall, and then as we exhale, we just hinge forwards. Again, it's hinging from the hips so the spine stays tall. And then once you've reached a point that feels like a comfortable stretch for you, just staying here again for 3 deep breaths in and out. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable, keeping the awareness with the sensation of stretch in the body and with your breath. And each time you exhale, feel as though the stretched part of the body is relaxing. And at the end of that 3rd exhale, as you inhale, very gently coming to sit back up, nice and tall. Bring the hands onto the outer edges of the knees and then inhaling them up. Bring them in with the help of the hands. And then that's the end of this session for today. So if you want to, you can lay down on the back of the body in Shavasana. I'll just demonstrate that. And you can relax there for as long as you wish. And then the next session will be up on the YouTube channel soon. So please, if you've enjoyed this, do like it and also feel free to share it. And thank you very much for watching. So going into Shavasana if you wish. And you can stay here for as long as you like. Feet a bit wider than hip distance, toes flopping out to the sides, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And relaxing everything.